name is Angelica Jones. I'm the interim director for DDOT. It is with great pleasure and excitement that I stand before you today. DDOT has made great strides in better service, bus availability, and hiring of drivers. Just a week ago, we also announced our proposed fare change to make it simpler, easier, and flexible for our customers. The mayor has stated in his State of the City address that he's going to do more exciting things for DDOT, which we are here to discuss today. So without a longer further ado, I would like to bring to the podium our mayor, Mayor Duggan.
All right. All right, how do you like the look of the new buses? We're not going to wait for RTA. We are building a first-class transit system right here in the city of Detroit at DDOT, a step at a time. Everybody knows how far we had to come back from. Now that we have extended 24-hour service to several of our routes, we decided to go back to the core routes. We have 10 routes in this city that carry 60% of our riders, what we call Connect 10. And we said, let's devote our efforts to those 10 routes. And starting September 1st, you're going to see a number of things happen on those 10 routes. First thing is you're going to have 15-minute service. Every day from 6 to 9 in the morning and 3 to 6 at night, there's going to be a bus every 15 minutes. So you can look at the schedule and that'll be fine, but you know it's coming. And that's so important, not only because people are on the main routes, but also there's a lot of connections off of these routes. And if you have to wait a long time for your first bus, and then a long time for a connection, it discourages people from riding. Now you'll know if you're connecting to any of the Connect 10 routes, you probably have an average wait of 7 minutes or so, and it'll be no longer than 15 minutes. We've also added 15-minute service on the weekends for the prime time as well. We put Wi-Fi service on these buses because our riders are connected now, and they want to have that kind of first-class service. And so on the Connect 10 routes, there will be Wi-Fi service, and there is a new design. There is a new spirit in the city, and the spirit of Detroit is going to be on the buses. What this means is 500 more trips a week just on these 10 routes. That's the kind of service expansion our riders deserve. And with the simplified fare option that we're going to be putting in place with SMART, we're just going to make it easier and easier for the residents of this city to use our bus service. So every step of the way in building this service, I have been supported 100% by Detroit City Council. And we have here a great advocate for both buses and bikes, because these are what he uses in his own life, Councilman Scott Benson.
Thank you for that, Mayor. My name is Councilman Scott Benson. I am the 3rd District City Council member and representative for this area. And it is an honor and a privilege to be here today to talk about how we are improving and expanding our bus system right here within the city of Detroit. And especially here on the northeast side of Detroit, where we have seen years of service that has not met the needs of our residents, but now we're actually seeing how Detroit is building a world-class city that meets the needs of our residents and will meet the needs of the city going into the future. And so for the city of Detroit, it is huge. It is hugely important that we meet the needs of our residents and that we are able to get people moved throughout our city. And so when it comes to jobs, when it comes to recreation, when it comes to this mobilizing yourself and getting around the city, having a bus system that meets the needs of our residents is huge. And when we look at the different job centers that we have within the city of Detroit, and especially what we have at the I-94 Industrial Park, it is necessary that people are able to get to their jobs from their homes on time and reliably. And the system that we're building is going to move Detroit into the 21st century and make us a destination. And so while we have not been able to get anything done on the RTA level regionally, we are not going to let that stop Detroit. We are going to keep moving, and we are going to become the example of what a world-class transportation system looks like within the region. And that way people are going to follow us. And so next time we go looking for that type of support from the region, we're going to get it. And so I just want to thank the mayor and DDOT and all those who've been part of that for making this happen. And as said, I take the bus as well proudly. And then reducing your choices from 36, I believe, different types of payment down to 6, that's huge. And so now we're making it easy. So when you put your bike on the bus to get from point A to point B, and you get there and you're on time, and your job is happy with you, just a quality of life improvement. And this is why Detroit is the best city in the world and why residency has its privileges.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman Scott Benson. Next, we're going to have to the podium our ATU president, Mr. Fred Westbrook, who has also been very strategic in assisting us when making sure that we make this happen. So, Fred.
Thank you, Angelica. Thank you, Mayor. This is a happy time for at least the drivers that drive the buses here in the city of Detroit. For us to do the best job that we can, we need more buses. This bus behind us, as many is yet to come, will help us to be able to deliver efficient and effective service to the citizens of Detroit who rides the bus. The fare structure, everybody getting on one page, is going to make it easy for the drivers to deal with fare, where there won't be assaults and issues dealing with collecting fares. We really thank the mayor and his transit team for the innovative ideas that they're coming up with to enhance the service here in the city of Detroit. One thing I like to say about the bus, I see the spirit of Detroit behind it, La Spears de Toi. In one hand, he holds a spear, which represents our position in the universe. In the other hand, he has a man, woman, and child, which represents the citizens of the city of Detroit. But I like that the sun is illuminating throughout the bus, showing that the spirit of freedom and the spirit of revitalization is once again coming to the city of Detroit. And we give the mayor applause for that.
Thank you, Mr. Westbrook. Next, we're going to have a driver, Carlita, come up as well to tell her story in regards to our new look, new feel for DDOT.
Good afternoon. I'm a driver for DDOT, and I actually drive one of the Connect 10 routes, which is Grand River, and it never stops. People are always out there, and that's what we do for a living. I take my job very seriously. I've come out every morning to move our city, and these buses are really going to help us do that and improve the quality of life for our citizens and give them more choices and more freedom. And also our fare structure changing and being easy to understand for our riders is really going to be great for our interaction between customers and drivers. So I'm really excited about these buses, and as you know, any new equipment at work is great. So I'm excited. I can't wait to get these on the road. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. And the reason why we're here, we provide a service, and we're providing the best service possible. So we have two of our DDOT riders, Ms. Bree and Ms. Megan, that's just going to come up and tell you their great story and how this Connect 10 service is going to benefit them within DDOT.
Good morning. Really excited to be here and show some appreciation for the work that's been happening around transit in Detroit. I'm an essential rider. I depend primarily on the bus for transportation. I'm also an artist and entrepreneur, so I wouldn't be able to do this and live this life without having mobility access in the city. Most excited about one of the Connect 10 routes, number 4, which used to be 53. Keeping Woodward on Woodward. We haven't had bus service in downtown Detroit since the Q-Line construction disrupted it years ago. And now not only will we have the Woodward bus back on Woodward, but we also have Grand River service servicing downtown, Gratiot, and the Russell bus, which was an initiative led by Transit Justice Team working in partnership with RideDOT. And to have that community partnership with the government is just, it's very hopeful, and it has me very excited about the future of Detroit, not just as a mobility epicenter of the world, but also as just a metropolis of a really powerful city where community and government can work together.
Hi, my name is Megan Owens. I'm with Transportation Riders United, a nonprofit organization that's been working for nearly 20 years to advocate for more and better public transportation service. I wear two hats, both as a rider myself, as well as the director of TRUE. And I can say, as a rider, the improvements in frequency and knowing that these most popular routes will be coming every 15 minutes makes such a difference. I remember a number of years ago bringing my toddler, waiting on the Woodward bus with a toddler, waiting to get downtown to take her to preschool. And unfortunately, we waited in the cold for almost 40 minutes. And that's pretty scary as a mom when my little one is getting cold. And I think of all of the families who have struggled with that. Now with these buses coming more frequently, more reliably, that means more families can get where they need to go. I also think this is a great step because it should help make it easier for new riders. For a long time, DDOT has been a critically important service for Detroiters who rely on it to get where they need to go. But I think it can be even more than that. I believe that by making this system more attractive, easier to understand, easier fare structures, and more reliable, that more people will want to choose to ride DDOT, maybe getting a little bit of traffic off our roads and a little less parking congestion downtown and elsewhere. So I really applaud DDOT. Certainly they're the first to acknowledge there's still a long way to go, but there's been huge strides over the last several years to make this a reliable, attractive service that I'm proud to be a rider of. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. We are truly excited in regards to the direction DDOT is going in. And it will behoove me not to thank some individuals that played a tremendous part in making this happen. Of course, the mayor of the city of Detroit, Dave Masseron, the chief operating officer for the city, Jarrell Harris, the deputy chief operator for the city, and also DDOT team, where there are multiple individuals here from DDOT. Can you just wave your hands to say thank you to the great team that we have? And with that being said, we're going to open it up for any questions that you all may have. Thank you. You want to talk about the fair? You want to come up?
Yeah.
Sure.
So, Vicki, you must have had last Thursday off work.
Right.
So what we have proposed with DDOT and SMART is this. We have historically sold fares on a trip basis, $1.50 for a ride, a quarter for a transfer. SMART's done $2 for a ride, 50 cents if you want to go from DDOT to SMART. It's crazy. We're getting rid of the per trip fares. And for $2, you're going to buy a 4-hour pass for unlimited rides, DDOT and SMART. And if you come into town and you want 24 hours of service, for $5, you can buy 24 hours of unlimited rides on DDOT and SMART. And we simplified monthly and weekly SMART and DDOT fares. So as Councilman Benson said, today we have 36 fares. We're proposing this fall to go down to just 6. And at least the reaction over the weekend is most people would much prefer to have unlimited rides for 4 hours for $2 than pay $1.50 each ride, quarter for each transfer. So when you add those two things together, I know the drivers are very excited because all that transfer conversation is not a pleasant experience for either DDOT or SMART. Now you add to that the quality of the buses, the Wi-Fi service, the frequency of the service, and I think people are starting to see we're going the right direction. Yeah.
Yes, these buses here are new. The numbers behind it is like 1801, 1804. We just received those buses in the last 2 weeks. And although they're new, it's also a wrap on those coaches. Currently, we will have 30 new buses come October, end of October, November, and an additional 150 going forward. Sure. In the last couple of years, we have added over 100 buses to our fleet since 2014. So we'll be adding additional buses, which will be replacing our old fleet with the newer fleet. So within the next 2 to 3 years, we'll be hopefully been about 8%, an average of 8 for our average fleet life. Yep.
You got a question on the left hand?
Sure. Yes, absolutely. The Connect 10 is our foundation route. We're going to branch out to across all of our routes throughout the city. Yes.
So let me
Sure.
add to that. So we want to prove on these 10 routes we can deliver this caliber of a bus every 15 minutes, Wi-Fi service alike. Over the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to see all of the service get upgraded to this kind of look, to Wi-Fi, and if things keep going the way they're going in this city, because the fact is, we got more businesses here, they're paying more in taxes, we're able to afford more in services, which is how we just added another 500 trips a week this week. We're going to keep adding those trips to more and more routes. But we thought if you take the 10 routes that carry 60% of our riders, let's show our customers what this looks like, and I think there'll be support for more and more. Does that sound good?
Yes.
All right, and so we'll be up here for individual conversations, and you're free to go out and check out the bus. Thank you all very much.